Breaking New York Giants news, Giant fans. Daniel Jones is going to have surgery. Could come back between 8 to 10 months.
That sucks.
Oh, this is Tim. This is Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. Oh, that is the word right now. Daniel Jones is having surgery today on Wednesday on his knee to repair the ACL. And the Giants are already starting the narrative that he could be back anywhere from September to July. And that would put him in line to start either the training camp or come in at the tail end of training camp, and reference to him potentially starting for the 2024 season.
That sucks.
We don't know what's going to happen yet. This is what I hate about the Giants. They like to try to control the narrative. And I guess like any good football organization, that's what you do. You want to control the narrative. But I can speak from experience that when you have an ACL tear, I've had two. The second one that I had, they told me initially from the MRI and everything else that it wasn't as bad as the first. And I was very excited. I was very enthusiastic about it. And the gentleman who was actually the New York Knicks physician or orthopedist who did the surgery told me, but we're never going to know fully until we get in and see exactly what's going on with your knee. That's when I found out my ACL was completely frayed, and they had to take part of my patella tendon and string it across my knee and basically fashion a new ACL. So for the Giants to already set the timeline from 8 to 10 months without even having the surgery, without even looking to see exactly what's going on in the knee, is to me them just either controlling the narrative to the fact that they want to say, well, Daniel Jones is be back. No reason to take a quarterback. He was only 1-5 when he left. And people will talk, well, Joe Burrows came in back in shorter time and he had an ACL and an MCL surgery. And Kyler Murray took a little bit longer. But you don't know. Every case is different. Every body heals differently. Everything, the human body is this amazing thing, but everyone's body is different. And like I said, until you know the full extent of the injury, I wouldn't have said anything now with the Giants unless I want to control the narrative. And the narrative is we signed this guy to $160 million. He has a dead cap number of $68 million next year. And at the end of the day, he's basically going to be on this team no matter what, hell or high water. And if we decide not to take a quarterback in the first round, we still have Daniel Jones. I cannot put up with year 6 of Daniel Jones. I cannot put up with the Daniel Jones enthusiast telling me we have to wait to see exactly what he's going to be. It's been 6 years. It will be at that point in time 6 years. He will have one healthy season out of 5, one average season out of 5. I'm not discounting his rookie year, but the rookie year we've talked about, we point out exactly why he was successful. And that was more to do with Pat Shurmur than his own talent. If you extrapolate the 2 other seasons after that rookie season and expand it over 16 games, he would have almost identical statistics to what he had in 2023. He is average at best. Everything has to be right. You normally have to play in a dome on turf for him to excel, and he'll have one good game and then 9 bad in a row. And then we always have to wait and see, well, we can't decide yet exactly what we have. We have an average quarterback. And in some regards, he's a below average quarterback. When Tommy DeVito can come in making $1 million a year or $500,000 a year or whatever the hell he makes, still living with mom and dad, and he puts up better stats than your $160 million man who has 2 neck injuries and now an ACL in 3 years, and you signed him for 4 years, $160 million, I don't need to see anymore. I do not literally need to see any more of this man because we know what he is. We know what he does. We know what he can do. We've seen it because it's already been 5 years. You talk about the fact that Eli Manning stayed at the party too long. Daniel Jones stayed at the party too long, and in some regards, he's not invited. I mean that's what kills me. He's not even invited to the party. But the Giants are crafting this. The fact that he could go back in 8 to 10 weeks, 8 to 10 months, he could be back. So that'll be either July or late September. So he could either be ready for this. This is what kills me. He could either be ready for the start of training camp, or he could be not ready till the end of training camp. I don't know. I don't get it. I love it though, because MetLife was named NFL players' least favorite stadium place to play. And I love it because I'm not a fan. Everyone that knows I'm not a fan of MetLife. I'm really not. I love the Meadowlands. Listen, the Meadowlands was a dump, but the Meadowlands was a home field advantage. MetLife garnered 18.4% of the vote. Now, you could also say it's a little bit skewed because of the fact that you also have the Jets that play there as well. But then you look at the fact that it's really not skewed because of the fact that you're kind of saying that not only the NFC but hate it, but the AFC hates it. One respondent said the turf sucks and the whole place is lame. Another one went a step further, saying fans are horrible. Everything about the place is horrible. I don't disagree. I'm a season ticket holder, and I can tell you there's a good segment of the fans that are assholes and don't know much about the game, and all they want to do is drink and yell obscenities. I've seen it firsthand. And I think sometimes it's the lack of the intelligent fan that some of these other teams are seeing, because it's not wrong. And like I said, the building is sterile. I know the Maras wanted to go like more of a Polo Grounds look. They wanted that more arches and aesthetic look of, a stadium from the 50s. And the Jets organization wanted to go with the mess that we have now. So we spent $1 billion something on this mess. And literally it is a mess. But I mean, it's it's just one of those things. You know what? We are just an organization that I don't know. Someone said it on the Jet. Someone said it on the stream that we've become the Jets. Shaquille Leonard, the All-Pro linebacker, was kind of surprisingly waived. They're saying, of course, I don't think it was a surprise, but the Colts waived him. And the 28-year-old's a former second-round pick. And his tenure in Indianapolis did not go as expected. He had that great rookie season where he had 163 tackles. I think like 111 were solo. He was a defensive rookie of the year. He also was an All-Pro that year. He was first 4 seasons with the Colts. I think he had like 538 tackles, 15 sacks. But then the kind of the injuries kind of hit him. He signed a 5-year, $98 million deal. He went for back surgery in 2022. He also missed the opening of 2022 season, suffered a concussion, a broken nose. I think that was in his first game back. Then he re-injured his back. Now in 2023, they're basically, if you watch any of the Colts game, he doesn't look like the player that he was. And right now he's got a base salary of about $1.6 million with the balance of that season. And he's got a guaranteed number of 6.5. So it's unlikely any team is going to claim him. So immediately Giant fans are like, just imagine we could pair him up with Bobby Okereke and McFadden. Yes, because he wants to go to a 3-8 team. He doesn't want to go to a contender. We got a better chance of signing Shaquille O'Neal to play linebacker than we do Leonard. Maybe the polls aren't wrong. I was watching it I'm in a bad mood, of course, because of what happened with the dog. But maybe it's not a bad mood. Maybe it's just a moment of blatant honesty. But maybe the polls aren't wrong, because I watch Twitter. And all I see is, we need to sign him. Just imagine how he would be if we had him at Bobby Okereke. Yeah, because he's basically been let go with a quarter of the season left, a little more than a quarter of the season left. And he's going to want to go to a 3-8 team. He's not going to want to go to a contender. Why the hell would he want to do that? Because he doesn't want any money either. He just wants to sign for a veteran minimum to come to the Giants, and everything will be okay.
IQs just dropped sharply while I was away.
And I was only away for a day, Ripley. I was only away for a day. Great balls of fire. We're not going to have a stream on Sunday because I'm going to be at the game on Sunday. It's been a while since we've gone to a game. I'm actually bringing Mrs. OBB. So if anyone's out and about and wants to say, hey, give us a shout. You won't miss us. It'll be the giant and the midget. Because that's what it looks like at times when her and I walk down the street. So make sure if you see us, say hey. And we'll have the stream probably on Saturday. And once again, this is Tim. This is New York Giants Straight Talk, powered by Big Blue LLC. And you know what to do. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to ring that bell because you want to know why. That'll be awesome.